Hello everyone, welcome back to Evil Genius, and we'll carry on where we left off. I will apologise if I sound blocked up or more snotty and horrible than usual, but I've got one of those lurgy things which is less than enjoyable right now. So, let's just follow up. You can see here we've got all that stuff. Master plan machinations. And we're doing okay. We just haven't done the cloning device thingy. So we're doing alright, generally speaking. And we've got a reasonable amount of money. You can see we've got super agent containment room that is in the process of having loads of guns installed, because that's what we're going to use to essentially take down the super agents whenever they break out like that. And this is like you have at the post office to slow them down when they're moving. So the idea essentially is to incapacitate them as quickly as possible. And hopefully he'll get incapacitated. There we go. So these doors remain at level 3, so they can't be used, and he'll always get pushed back into here. And we're taking out all of these to replace these with guns. Now we've got some research. Oh, excellent. So if we pay, then you can see it takes off one that's already been used, and it says we can use those too. So let's do those. So these guys are now taking out the remainder of these little areas. Now, what we're going to do also, in addition to that, get rid of all of these, is we're going to have these guns facing forward, this way forwards. So they'll always shoot at them once they run past them. So that way we'll always have a gun shooting at them no matter where they are in this area. So it's just a way of making sure that we incapacitate them quickly before they do any damage to us and to the location where they are. That's the predominant plan behind it, really. And we'll put one there as well. So, now what we need to do is put one in there. What we tend to do is on the corners we put them like that. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Oh, excellent. That's the. I haven't really used that. It's a good thing for. It could be entertaining for this, actually. So they walk in here, set this off, and then it just goes vroom. But it'll put a jet out to about here, and it'll destroy these doors. So I don't really have anywhere in the general location that I can use to do that. So I'm also, for those of you who are not aware, I'm actually using a new headset, which I've purchased. And the advantage of that means that no matter where I look, the microphone will always remain in the same place. So it means that the sound recording will be consistent in that regard, which can only be a good thing. So we're going to take out the remainder of these here and replace them with guns. And we're going to put another gun at the end there, like that. So that's not too bad. And do we have the multi-gym put in here? Yes, we do. You can see there's the totem pole. And, here we go. So here is, there's the real one. So she's going to go back into there.
Somewhere to relax.
And the fake is going to go wandering out into the world and get assassinated. So that's the plan anyway, because so you can create up to 5 clones. So by one of the specialists. So we've got to find out where the specialist is. That looks like her. Yep, there we go. So essentially what we'll do is we'll send the clone out of here, round here, and say hello to that girl. She'll then die, and that means that we'll be able to sort it out. So that means that will reduce the heat on us. The Uber trap working well, I would say. They're still being sent round well. It's generating money. Let's have a look at our money location. Yeah, oh, look at that. We've got a Uber loot item in there, so let's move that to there. Now, the thing is, we don't want to build up the money too much, because if you do, it causes problems when you go to the next island. So that's something to bear in mind. What are these guys doing in here? Are they slacking off? They are as well. Bastards. There we go. We'll open that door. Get them all out of there. So that's basically... Oh, she's gone in there. Damn it. We don't want her in there, unfortunately. So we'll have to leave it like that. But if she gets lost in there, then... c'est la vie. And we'll deal with it accordingly. So... we're continuing to build up the... Oh, a death cubicle. They're fun. We could put them in there, but there's no point. There we go. She'll probably end up trying to break out again. And we've got more research, so we can use all three of those for the research purposes. So she's not interested in that door, is now going back to that door. We'll break her way out, but we've also got some additional gas mask men trying to make their way in. So there's our girl. So she could be killed by other agents. See what I mean? So what we might have to do is kill him. Send him round quickly. Send her over here so she doesn't get shot by him. And then send her round into here so that our girl gets... Oh no. There goes our assassin. Oh well. So our evil genius hunting assassin is now in there. And with all the gas, it's going to be a right rough time for her. Oh lovely, that's just what we wanted. So this is going to start creating more demands on our power. So this is something that we will need to consider. Actually, I'll put one there and one there. And what happens is that you always get some of them, some agents sort of stand here and shoot at it. And so we've got that one there, just to sort of deal with any there. So that should be okay. Now, we might get another evil genius hunting assassin, but I don't know at the moment, so we'll have to keep an eye on our clone. See what happens in that regard. So, because they're all having their smarts knocked down. Some are being killed. Some aren't. I think that's low on health. That's only 484, which is... the advantage of those doors is that they are pretty substantial. I mean, these doors, we don't need substantial doors because they're there just literally as holders. Like placeholders so that men will stand in front of them and guard them. That's basically the reason. So, things are not looking too bad. Here we go. All the guns are nearly being bought. So let's get some more guns in. What do we want? Lots of guns. Lots and lots of guns. And as long as we don't buy too many of them, we won't get loads of these guys getting in here, getting caught up. This is going to be a problem for us later, for getting out and about and moving around. But, to be honest, it's the least of our problems. Really. Ah, there we go. So we got the battery room here, which we can essentially take out once we start hitting that limit. And put, what are these things in there? Listen to that. That low-powered rumble. Lovely thing, isn't it? So. Oh, okay, that's a weird one. Okay. Why won't it let me zoom out any further? Okay. Weird. Okay, strange. A weird bugette. A bijou bugette. But it's not to worry anyway. But what we will start doing is start putting gun turrets around here so that we can assassinate anybody who comes near us. And we allow through people we want to allow through, so to speak. And anybody who makes it out of here and we don't want to get back for the heat, then we use the gun turrets to assassinate them before they even make it to the exit. So, essentially, no compromise when it comes to dealing with the evildoers that try and, well, I suppose they're the good people who try and prevent our evil. And we will have none of that, thank you very much. So, there's the coverage. Goes down to about there, so there'll be somebody shooting at as soon as they get into that area. As you can see, look at this fella. He's got some heat on him, but his smarts are way down. So he's basically been made so dumb that he can't get out of there. There you go, additional gas on him. And there we go, he's as thick as a short plank. Or in fact, 2 short planks. Ah! Biotanks. This is excellent because once we've got biotanks in the building, we'll be able to actually look at making the, or we'll get the ability to research freaks. Now, once we've researched freaks, I've kept this area here for the sort of freak movement area. Now, the reason for that is that we'll have a freak in a room and it'll have sensors in it. Now, the good thing is these guys here, our guys, when they go past here, the sensors and all the rest of it and stuff like that, they've got a little sort of wireless adapter almost in there to say, I am actually a minion, and so therefore the sensors don't apply to me. So for things like these things. And a freak doesn't have that. He will set them off. So essentially you would put him in a room like that and he would literally just walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth because you've locked him in there. And what would then happen from that is he would continue to set off those sensors. Now the advantage of that is that because it would set off the sensors, there's nothing in here or in here or in here that the soldiers or any of the troops can blow up to stop the Uber trap from functioning. Because you see, nobody's setting it off at the moment. Nobody's actually moving. They're all struck dumb, which is fine. But the point is, it means that with a freak here who'll just continually walk back and forth all the time, means that it'll continually send them round and round and round and round and round in circles. So, that is a very helpful thing as far as we're concerned. This is a less helpful thing. Now, this is something that happens in Evil Genius. If you mark somebody for assassination and you don't have a gun turret, then minions who are carrying things will drop them in order, as he scratches his nose, in order to attack the enemy. And sometimes it means that if the minion dies, it doesn't immediately get picked up. Just a minor thing. And you can see here a capacity is pretty high as a result of the mod that we've got running. You can see we're going to get plenty of spin doctors, plenty of playboys, plenty of diplos and quantum physicists. We're going to need the biological guys there, and we're going to also, because we're using mercenaries as the primary security force with guards as the secondary security force. So we need to look on here. What have we got here? More samurai armor. There's more bits and pieces in there. What's that going on there? Okay, so did I just see that? Yes, I did. Kidnap a biochemist. Let's have him. Now, let's see. We can also do that as well. There's an assistant, so you can see only a little bit missing from the mod, but you get to basically kidnap a personal assistant for your evil genius. So there's the militia leader. We don't need that one. And there is the spin doctor hostage. And the quantum physicist who we've already got. So, I think generally speaking we're in a good position. So let's run that mission there. Martial Arts Master. Do we have any? We do not. Let's just go marshalling the martial arts. Or mastering the martial arts even. There you go. See that little sensor there, or that little thing that came out like a wireless signal? That's the thing that all of your minions have so they don't set off traps. But it also means that they can disable traps and they walk in here and then get caught in. So they will be affected by these things because they're not sensor traps, they're physical things that are set off by sensors. So if somebody else sets it off, after they walk through here, they'll get caught up in it as well. So it's possible for you to get your own minions caught up in this trap here. Now our girl is still sitting there. Our cloned girl, I should say, is still sitting there, so she's okay. So generally speaking, it's not a bad situation really that we're in. That's looking good there. And obviously we've got these areas as well. And the guns are continuing. You see here, the only drawback that we do have with that is nobody's actually getting the guns, which can sometimes be a little bit of a bug. So let's do that and do that. There we go. So it doesn't reset that camera, because that'll be a little bit... What's that? Oh, he's just a normal burglar. We'll kill him as soon as he revives. Now, I'm noticing that there's not a camera there. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a zoom lens camera. Stick it in there. And that's going to have to be on circuit 1. And that's also going to be on circuit 1 as well. So that's not looking too bad. Now, what we also need, whoops, is some security loudspeakers to alert people that there are ne'er-do-wells and footpads nearby that we need to deal with. Still not happy about that, but at least it's still sort of a corridor through which people can be funneled. And this, as you can see, with a higher population, can become a problem. Bit of a traffic jam, really. So we're not really that fussed because, I mean, could we re-engineer this and make it a wider corridor? Yeah, we could take all this out, make that maybe a 4-wide corridor. We wouldn't be able to have that room as big. So we probably wouldn't be able to have that room. It'd have to be a 3-wide corridor if we're going to do anything. Which may be, but you can see literally it's cleared its jam out already. And the jam is sort of progressing in the various ways. But the guns that we've got in here, see, look, all this jam. There's problems with jam. Jam in Jerusalem. So, keeping the eye on the power. See, look, because that's not been... So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. We're going to make sure... Now the trouble is, it could be that it's not been... It's been dropped in the field. And as a result of that, it's not being built or not being transferred. So what we'll do is we'll get our girl to go in here. And this is the problem that you get, you see. We'll bring her around here, and you can normally mark it for high priority, as in do this now. But that option is not shown until just now. So if we bring this round, and there we go, that'll go into there. So we'll bring her round and tell her to do that high priority. And because we've taken out some of these, that could be the reason why it was getting blocked up. It's a bug that myself and my friend on Steam, Zaggy, who plays Evil Genius as well, has noticed. Now here's the advantage of the turrets. They get within shooting range. And blam. Dead as a door now. Right, so we've got that, and what we need to do is set that to level 1 door, so they'll put the biochemist in there. Now the advantage is that we've now got the biochemist training area. So that's the electron microscope. What we may need to do is to put him in there, maybe? Will he fit? No, he won't fit in there. What we'll have to do then is get rid of one of those. And put the bio doodah in there, I guess. Not ideal. Now, oh look, dojo. So we're going to have a little bit of a problem. So we're going to take out that one, because I built 2 so that we could build a lot of these guys, but we've got like 45 nearly of them. Oh look, hello. They're sniffing around looking for trouble. Here comes a biochemist, currently unconscious and being carried into the chokey, so to speak. And there's the jam that I told you about. So you can probably hear in my voice a little bit hoarse still. The lurgy is so much fun. Now, is that a level 4? Yeah. I'm just leaving it as a freezer option in case we need it. Now, you can see here, he's going round, which means I reckon he's going to go and put him in here. And we don't want that. So what we do, we stop that by locking the door. And what should happen now is that he should automatically be redirected to one of these rooms. This is a slight bug that you get, and this is part of the reason why, because we've now got 2 karate gentlemen as well that have been captured. So one will get dropped there, and one will get interrogated. Oh, boot in the ribs. So he's now up. Let's get him interrogated quickly. And we'll get that one interrogated quickly as well. Now, the trouble is by putting them in there, as soon as they get out, they get incapacitated. And I would have to delete those things, or put in a delete command for them, before it would actually move them properly. So, so we put that in as a high priority. And we want to see that thing go white. That's going to be the key. But also, part of the problem could mean it's one of these things here, the money. And we just have to wait for it to essentially finish. There's not really much we can do under the circumstances. So there we go, 2 being interrogated. That guy also now in there, we can sort him out afterwards, which will be fine. So that's going to be helpful as far as we're concerned, and going to be an interesting situation, because there we go, we'll have these 2, there we go, trained into biological. There's our biological lad, and there's our karate boy. So we can set that now to 20 martial artists, and we can set this to X amount of biochemists, which will be 20 as well. A good round figure for all of them. Now, there we go. The only thing is, in order to train them, we will have to create the dojo, or at least... that's why I put that there, because of that. So, let's see, if we move that and put it there, that could be a better option. So we'll have to stop his training after that's done. And then we'll put the dojo in there. Money's not looking too bad. We're at 10 mil. And then we bring in the Dous Joas. like that. And what we'll also do is we'll add in one of these little toys just to keep them at least relatively awake while they're training. So that's still
I've got my heart set on this.
still not gone white, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's get this guy out of there as well. Now, one thing we can actually do is to not keep generating money is to just turn off the blowers and just keep gassing the bastards, so they just won't go anywhere. So I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. So let's have a look. Switch that off. That off. And then we'll just put on the gas system, which starts where? I'm guessing it starts there. Yeah, that looks like it. If they do decide... If they do... What the hell? Okay, that was strange. If they do decide to move anywhere, then we have an option to switch it back on. Wonder if that's that same problem I've had before with it. Where the sound just dips. Probably because of setting on the microphone, or maybe it might be to do with having a compressor. It thinks there's silence, and so it just randomly turns it down. But if need be, I'll just change the input onto a different input on the system. So let's see. That's done. That's not. And you can see it's holding up all of these things. And it's gotten to the point where I've had to reload a save in order to get it to function properly. Because it kind of gets its knickers in a knot. Where something that we're trying to build out here has stopped. Something like this. And as a result of that... Oh, good, they've got no heat on them whatsoever. As a result of that, it's holding up the building of other things. Because it's not a parallel type queuing system, it's all sequential. Oh, there we go, they're blowing shit up. Well, that could be good, because... Well, let's just put that to a level 1 door. And put that to a kill. So they'll all blow that shit up. And then our evil genius clone, who is still here, can then wander around and see the assassin.
Intruder tagged for termination. Intruder detected on security network.
So there she goes over there. We'll send our clone in that direction too. While the rest of the minions clear up the bodies that have been generated by that sudden outbreak and destruction of doors. So we'll go back onto here. We'll have to create a door again.
Purchase order confirmed.
Okay. The hell? So there we go. The problem is we're going to have these people continue to walk in. They are tourists. They will set things off. Oh, he needs to die because he's a soldier and he'll create a lot of problems otherwise. So, yeah. Little bastard. We'll have him. So, the tourists are now being gassed.
Warning. Hostile presence detected in base.
There we go. The guns now are out, and he's dead. So, that's one less thing to worry about. Where's my clonette? Oh, has she been killed? No, here she is, you bloody fool. You fool of a hunter. Oh, you stupid woman. What are you doing? I literally walked my clone right past you and you still didn't shoot him. Oh, here she comes again. I don't think my clone is going to be quick enough to catch up. But we'll have to wait and see. See, look, grey. And this is the problem that we get, is that the people who have been gassed. So we're going to have to turn all of that off now, because it means our own people are going to start getting gassed, which we don't want. So that will empty the Uber trap. It will stop the money building up. There we go. Our clone has murdered, or has been murdered. There she is. So that's a good... oh, for God's sake, really? There we go. So he's dead and dealt with. So that means then we've got another aspect of it there. We've got the faking it. We've got the loot and pillage. So there's probably just still some of these things to get. Now, we've got enough valets to get that, so let's put in 10 valets there and a soldier. Oh dear, as he sniffs ungainly. I do apologise. Now, that's not a soldier, but it's the evil genius assassin, isn't it? Yeah, we don't want her alive. She's done the work we need her to do. So, right. Let's see, because I think that's where we're going to end today's episode. A little bit of murder. There we go, he's been shot in the back, so he walks back towards the gun. Smart move, Sunshine, smart move. Yep, that's what it did for you. That's what it did. So, it's distinctly possible. I might have to just save this as another save because of that problem there, and sort of load it off the previous save in order to progress through to a similar point. It's a problem that we've noticed. But anyway, that has this bit. Start again in English. That has been this week's episode of Evil Genius. I hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you again soon for more. Take care, everyone.